Good morning, group, or at least in my area. I live in Houston, Texas. I usually make a video pertaining to the motor oils you're using in your vehicles, your cars, pickups, SUVs, all those contraptions that cost a fortune. Telling you people, most of you are using the wrong kind of oil. If you're living in Detroit, Michigan, or around the Great Lakes or New York City, yeah, you can use a 5W20 in a car. But if you live in the mid central or especially the South, where I live, Houston, Texas, you better use a 2050 oil. I've used 2050 oil since the early 1970s. I'm age 69 as of right now. I've got 54 years experience. And I understand these motor oils that they're selling you people. You people, you are literally in a hypnotic trance. You have been lied to since the early 1970s about oil. First off, there is no such thing as a detergent oil any more than oil was detergent in the year 1840 when kerosene was introduced for lamp oil. It can be used as a cleaning agent to clean cast iron stoves. Or when oil goes to the top of the engine head, it flows back down, it can bring down and then be filtered, anything, but there is no detergent in oil other than oil itself. The action of oil, it also acts as a detergent, okay? When it lubricates the top part of the engine, the oil falls back down to the oil pan. Okay, with it, it will bring portions of, any deposits on the upper part of the engine. All right. So detergent and all that's a lie right there. So, you figure in the early 70s when they started labeling quarts of oil, one would say non-detergent, one would say detergent. Those oils were the identical same thing. They figured out a deceitful way to charge you people back then what was like 40 cents more for a quart of oil by putting a gold band around it and putting detergent on it when it was the same thing as the non-detergent, you see. And you're also using the wrong weight in your engine, your oil. Like here in Houston, Texas, where I live, it gets very, very hot in the summer. Very, very hot. Okay. Um, 5W20 will ruin your engine if you live where I live. If you live in the mid central area, 5W20 will ruin your engine because it's too thin, people. Now, if you live in the northern region, yeah, you can get away with 5W20 there, at least in the winters. But even the summer, like in Detroit, can rise to 70 degrees. That's even too thin there. Let me show y'all something that is factual on oils. Okay. Look at this chart I made. Zero W, all they're calling it now. And then it'll have 20. What that is, five way. Five way. Because that's the thinnest thing they're going to sell you, other than what would be like transmission fluid oil. Its transmission fluid is actually all, it's a one weight oil. A one weight oil. Some transmission fluids, like Ford's Type L, that you can still find in some parts stores. That is a two weight oil, but it's still oil. Okay. Zero weight, there's no such thing. How could it be a zero weight? You see? They're messing with you people's heads. It's a 5-way. Okay, because that's the lowest in a gasoline engine or a diesel engine you're going to get for a vehicle. For it to even exist, it has to be a 5-way, which would mean it's the same law as this one here that's 5W20. And then you've got 5W30, 10W30 oil. Okay. And then you've got 10W40, or some like on it's for diesel engines, 15W40, and then 20W50. 20W50 is what I use in my vehicles. All four of them. All right. Let me explain to you the truth. See, you've all been deceived. You've been lied to. Here's what you got. Okay, we know that's a 5-way. This 5W20, it's 5-weight oil. The 5W30, it's 5-weight oil. The 10W30 is 10-weight oil. The 10W40, it's 10-weight oil. The 20W50 is 20-weight oil. You see these second numbers? It's pure 100% fiction. It's made up, people. It's made up. It's not real. Look, all oil, when an engine gets hot, the hotter oil gets, the thinner oil gets. Like in the morning, you can have any of these weight oils here in this list. When you pull that dipstick out, it's not going to drip as many drops off the end of the dipstick. When that engine is hot, okay, you pull that dipstick out, it's going to drip many more multiple drips when that engine is hot. So tell me, how did it get thicker? How did it get thicker? So you don't believe in actual reality, God-given physics. You believe what a bunch of con artists, liars have told you to just make money off of. Okay. Uh, Names, brands like Lucas Oil, different names. Guess what? It's meaningless. It's just oil. It's a matter what weight is it? Like for my differential or for my engine, an additive, and it says Lucas Oil, lifter tab or knock prevented. It's still a white oil. It's still a white oil. There's no magic that comes from the sky or in outer space, people. There's just oil. And if you're using 5W20 or 5W30 in your car, you're just ruining your engine, is all you're doing. You're just ruining your engine because that's too thin, people. It's too thin. Only the first, what the W. Let me tell you what that W stands for. It's U.S. measures and calibrations, okay, is what that is. That's federally regulated, you know? It's like an OPEC barrel of oil is 33 gallons, okay? Oil is measured at 240 degrees Fahrenheit. The thickness it is at 240 degrees is what is put on that container that oil is in, because that's what it is. Like at 240 degrees, this oil, which is thinner, is 5-weight oil. This oil here, the 20W50 at 240 degrees Fahrenheit, is 20 weight. All right. Once the oil gets hot, it gets thinner. So, like I use 20W50. This, the 50, it doesn't exist. It does not exist, people. Okay, here you got a 5-weight 20. The 20 doesn't exist. It's a 5-weight oil. Once that engine gets hot, the 5-way is going to reduce to a 2-weight oil. You see? That's reality. That's why you people are ruining your engines. I don't have the type trouble you people on my high mileage vehicles. I don't have all the trouble y'all have because I use the right weight of oil for the climate I live in. Now, if I moved somewhere that was even hotter than here, you know, further south or whatever, closer to what they call the equator, uh, I would use a thicker oil than that. And you know what the best oil that exists, and this is known by your standard automotive engineers, SAE, Golden State. It's actually what's sold in grocery stores. Like you can get a 30 weight or a 40 weight. Do you know that's the best oil you can get for a vehicle? The only reason I'm not using it because the 30 weight would be too thick for my vehicle. The 20W50, which is really 20 weights, 20 weight. See, the reason there's not a W after the 50 or any of these numbers like 5W20, there's not a W because they cannot legally put a W after that number. If it got up to a thicker weight after the engine got hot, they'd be putting a W there, but they're not. And a lot of these scammers, they'll say the W stands for winter. Winter where? In Alaska, Germany, uh, Egypt. That's ridiculous, people. It's ridiculous. It stands for weight, weight of the oil. That's what that stands for. But anyway, I make these about once a year. You people are so brainwashed. Uh, I put these videos on YouTube about once a year in Rumble and hell, I can't even remember the other website. It doesn't do any good. You people don't listen. But see, I'm trying to reach out to you. It's like when Jesus Christ lived here physically, approximately about 2025 years ago, he told people the answers. You know, that farm is not the answer, that there's a crop on this earth to cure any illness you may have. But it's a matter if people want to listen or they want to be idiots. Okay? And I am Earl. I'm coming to you with the truth about oil, people. About oil. You know, it goes from the ground up to the thinnest, like kerosene, transmission fluid, which is a 1-weight or 2-weight, and then into motor oils, it starts at a 5-weight. You know, up to what they call racing oil that can be as thick as 80 weight, aviation oil, 70 weight was, differential gear oil, 80 weight, you know. But see, you people have been deceived. You believe fiction. And you're paying more money for no reason at all, for absolutely no reason at all. You know, like for upkeep on my cars, I just ordered three 20W50 containers, 5-quart containers of oil. Came out to $74.83, you know, to be delivered because the delivery's free. That way, when I need to change oil on my vehicles, I have that oil, okay? But I bought the conditional SAE 20W50. And I know that that 50 on there, it means absolutely nothing. What I'm using is 20 weight motor oil, see? That's what I'm using. And they used a little thicker oil, like in the 60s. Amalie, Sinclair, Haviland, it'd be come in a 30 weight or a 40 weight. Okay, there you go. But you can use Golden State 30 weights. They sell at the grocery store for your lawn equipment. It's the same thing. It's the same damn thing. It's oil. It's oil, people. But anyway, believe what you will, but keep being ignorant. But I tell people the truth, scoff at it or learn. But if you want better luck with your vehicles, if you live anywhere in Texas or even the mid central climates, use the 20W50 people, and your engines will start lasting you. Later. Bye for now.